coming after me. And can we put a praise on it with the fruit of our lips right now? With the fruit of our lips, God, we bless you with the fruit of our lips. God, we say thank you with the fruit of our lips. We worship you with the fruit of our lips, God. You've been so amazing, God. And there's nobody like you. And we honor you, Jesus. We thank you for coming after us. Thank you for coming after us. God, we bless you. Can I tell you something this morning? Someone wanted to come to church. Someone wanted to be in church. But because of fear and because of doubting, we're not doubting them on that. But I dare you to praise for them. I dare you to praise for them. Because somebody wish they could come because they don't feel right. Or they feel sick in their body and they don't want to get nobody else contagious. But can you get a contagious praise for them right now? God, we bless you, we bless you. God, we honor you, we honor you. You are the King of glory. You are mighty in battle. Can I get the warriors for about 30 seconds? See, one thing I found out about a warrior, when we do things in the atmosphere, there's a thing that the enemy has to flee. So I dare every warrior for the next 30 seconds to just bombard heaven for your family, to just bombard heaven for your friends, to just bombard heaven for your co-workers. God, we honor you. We need you to send your glory down. Heal the land. Heal the land. We need you to heal the land. Heal the land. Heal the land. Yes, the world will bow down and say you are God. just wanna be with you. Oh, kingdom glory, say kingdom glory, fill this kingdom, my peace, kingdom, my peace, fill this kingdom, my joy, kingdom, my joy, fill this, just wanna be with you, just wanna be with you, I just wanna be with you, I just wanna be with you, just wanna be with you, take me behind the veil, just wanna be with you, into the holy of holies, just wanna be, God, I need you to wrap me in your love, just wanna be, God, we need you to wrap us in your love, yes, I just wanna be with you, just wanna be with you.
Father God, we come right now, Lord, as long as we know how, Lord God, on this Sunday morning, one of the most unorthodox Sunday mornings that we've ever had across the country, Father God. God, we come, God, not judging, not condemning, not coming against anybody, Lord. We come in place of, Father God. We come in place of right now, God. We come standing in agreement, God. We come no different than the elders used to go, Lord, in the tabernacle, God, on behalf of the whole entire tribe of Israel, God. We come in place of, God. I want you to know, if you're watching right now, don't you feel bad about where you're sitting at. If you're watching right now, don't you feel bad about not coming to church. Don't think that I'm better, I got more faith, or you got less faith. Just know we all got to be where we got to be to make our hearts feel comfortable. And I felt needed, I had the need to get here today to preach on the same stage to make sure that you know that I'm going to continue leading you and giving you the word God gave me to give you. So God, right now, God, we come in place of and in for, Father God, for those who may feel as though they may be sick, God, may feel as though they don't want to get sick, need to know that I got to make money. I can't take a chance and get down sacrificing because I got to pay my bills. God, we understand, God. That's why you've given us all the World Wide Web, God, to share this message, Lord, to everybody who needed, God. Oh, God. So, God, we come, God, in place of, we come, Lord, as a standing, Father God. So if you're not there, know I'm standing in for you right now. I'm standing in for you. And many other people in this room are standing in for others. The Bible says, when 2 or 3 are gathered in his name, he'll be in the midst. So God, right now, God, if they're sitting in the living room together, I dare you go get your husband, go get your child, and say, let's watch this together, because we 2 or 3 and God will be here. If you by yourself, call your homegirl, call your homeboy, and share the screen, and we begin to share it together. I don't care what you got to do. If you miss church today, don't feel bad. Know for a fact, here's the word, here's the worship, here's the welcome. And we welcome you right now to New Destiny Fellowship Church. We changed our mind to change the world. I know we're in unorthodox times. I know we are in unorthodox. I don't know what this next Wednesday going to look like. I don't know what this next Sunday going to look like. All I know, all I have right now is right now. And I come to you today, I come to God today to give you all my heart, all my mind, all my soul. And I thank God for those who are just watching and tuning in right now. And I want you to remind yourself and know that you're no lesser, we're no greater, we're just in place, you're in place. We all do what we got to do to make sure we survive this thing. Oh, yes. God, we thank you right now. We praise you right now. I pray over every pastor right now who's in a tough place right now. I pray over every pastor wife who's trying to support her husband in a tough place right now. I pray over every ministry leader who's in a tough place right now. Lord, I pray over every country leader who's in a tough place right now. Community leader, Father God. God, I pray over, Lord, everyone right now, God, who has to make hard decisions, God, that multiple people have got to respond to, Father. And God, I pray right now, God, over every person who's losing jobs right now, God. I come, Lord, asking, God, that you stand in the gap for them, Lord God. Find a replacement job for them, Father God. Lord, I pray right now, God, as many jobs are closing, Father God, many other jobs are opening, Lord. Let it be a shift, God, and transition, God. Don't let it be a gap, Lord, in income, Father. Oh, God, I pray right now, Lord. And ultimately, God, this is my ultimate prayer. whatever lesson you want us to learn, we get it. We get it, God. Lord, I pray the country get it, Father God. I pray, God, the world get it, Father God. I pray, God, the cities get it, Father God. I pray, God, the churches get it, Father God. I pray, God, the houses get it, Father God. But most of all, Lord, I pray, Lord, every individual person learn the lesson that you want us to learn from this situation, Father. We love you, we honor you, and we adore you. In your darling Son, Jesus' name we pray. Can the church say amen? Amen. Can the church say amen? Amen. Amen. Let's give God some praise in this place. No, let's give God praise. Remember, everything you do, you're doing it for somebody else. So let's give God praise for those who are not here to give God some praise. We bless you, Lord. We bless you, Father. I cannot reiterate it enough to remind those who are here that we're no greater. There's a pastor at home right now who wish he could open his door right now, but maybe in fear. There's a mom or dad who wants to be here right now or be at their church, but we're just in an unknown situation. I would lie to you if I told you that I got it all figured out. I've been on multiple conversations with multiple pastors the last week, and as I talk to these multiple pastors, I've said the same thing. We all had it figured out. We had our month figured out. We had our year figured out. Doggone, we had our day figured out. And all of a sudden, God called an audible. He called an audible. He allowed something to hit this world. And I told the people on Wednesday night that if God allows something to hit this entire world at one time, it must have meant that the world needs to learn a lesson at one time. Amen. God doesn't let anything happen. God doesn't allow anything to happen without him having the okay of it. Amen. He has the okay. Amen. Somebody say permissive will, ordained will. This may not have been his ordained will, but he allowed it. Amen. And so what I challenge everyone to do is stop pointing fingers, stop looking, stop wondering, and just look at yourself and say, God, what can I do different? Amen. What can I do better? Because at least those songs say we sweep around our own front door. God knows I think that everything else will become better. Amen. Listen, do me a favor. Let's go ahead and stand 2 feet around the building. We're going to get into this word. I won't hold you here long today. We're going to start at Genesis 6. I'm glad to see each one of you today. I'll kind of share in a minute why I did have service today, but I'm going to get into scripture real quick first. I will share in a minute why we did have service today, and I'll show you why I want to share that with you. Let's go real quick into the Word of God today. Genesis 6, 14 to 16. I'm glad to see my sound booth guy here today. Brother Devin said he wasn't for sure if he was going to make it or not. And I'm glad to see our musician here. Everybody give God praise. He came today knowing that he has a multiple medical conditions, but he came anyways. I thank God to see you. I don't ask anybody to put themselves in harm's way at all. I do not. One thing I would tell you also, we're not going to do, well, Bishop, why are you not going to shake hands? Why are you not going to hug? You was hugging and shaking hands on Wednesday. One thing I noticed on Wednesday, though, and also we had a couple of meetings this past week, I noticed this thing, when one person hugs, they come in with the intention not to, but when one person hugs, everybody else feels obligated to do so. And so you may feel as though I really don't want to, not because I don't want to get your illness. If I got something, I want to give it to you. And you feel obligated. So I didn't want any obligation to be here today at all. I didn't want to feel as though, well, if I came, I was going to feel obligated to hug somebody. If you feel the need to elbow somebody, elbow them in the elbow. What are you doing? We've been precautions. The CDC says that you should stay within so many feet away from so many people, and that you should not exceed so many people in a building, but if you do, spread them out. And that we are spread out. If you feel like you need to spread out more, spread out more. I'm not going to be offended by that at all. I'll come here to preach the word, whoever came to hear it, and whoever going to watch it later. So I'm not offended about no one being in certain places. But ultimately, we want to make sure that we're comfortable, we go back home safe. Amen. Amen. So guess what? This is a real virus. Okay. Somebody say, this is a real virus. Just because it hit your house, I mean it's not real. And sometimes when something goes long enough and it hit you, yeah, you can get to be complacent and go back to your old habits. I challenge you to wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Continue with the rules and regulations in place, because just because it hasn't spread out wide across the United States doesn't mean it don't have the potential to do so. Amen? So let's one more time give God some praise in this place. Go to Genesis 6. Genesis 6. You got it, Brother Darius? Genesis 6. Go to the 14th verse. I'm going to try to read along with me. Ready? Read. So make yourself an ark of cypress wood. Make rooms in it and coat it with pitch inside and out. This is how you are to build it. The ark is to be 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. Make a roof for it, leaving below the roof an opening of 1 cubit high. all around. Put a door in the side of the ark and make lower, middle, and upper decks. That's all my verses. Somebody say make lower, middle, and upper decks. Say with me real loud, say soar. No, say it like you're saying it for somebody else. Say soar. How you're doing it. We're going to deal with today's soar, and we're going to go on to the last stanza of the vision day of how you're doing it. Everyone say how you're doing it. I'm coming real quick, and I'm going to share with you real quick why we're here today. I got a couple things to share with you, so just roll with me. Take notes. I believe this is my third sermon this week. I taught on Bible study, and then we had a meeting with the pastors, and I went into a 15-minute harder sermon. I think I preached in the hall about all year, and we preached it from the pastors, and they left fired up, and each one of them went back to their various destinations, and they're preaching this morning. And we've had multiple conversations with multiple people this week because we're all trying to figure this thing out. I never listened to someone preaching before I come downstairs, and Sister Butler stepped in on me today, and also last week. I'm up there looking at TD Jakes. I'm just trying to figure out how TD Jakes doing it because a lot of pastors are at home. And I saw TD Jakes walking the floor. He had about maybe 80 folks sitting in the audience. And listen, he wasn't even ashamed to show his whole building and show how many seats was empty. Why? Because we showing up to do what God calls us to do. Somebody say amen. Amen. So I was encouraged. I started shouting upstairs. I was encouraged to see TD Jakes standing flat-footed and preaching the word of God in spite of what we're facing. Somebody say in spite of. In spite of. Listen, I will say this here. I'm a firm believer. Everyone say the race is not given to the swift, nor the strong, but he that endureth to the end. Listen, we don't have to be swift. We don't have to be strong in the situation. But I do believe, everyone say, I do believe we must endure. So this is why we're here today. This is why I came today. On a call this week, God touched my heart, and me and Pastor Jocelyn, to connect with the pastors in our community because no one had called the call. Everybody's having calls. I'm pretty sure all the business owners are meeting with business owners. I'm pretty sure all the banks are meeting with banks. I'm pretty sure all the schools are meeting with schools. But I hadn't heard of a call just yet about pastors. And I was sitting back waiting for the phone call, waiting for the text message. I didn't get one. And me and Pastor Johnson was talking, and God touched my heart to say, let's go ahead and make it happen. And so she reached out to a couple of pastors she knew. I reached out to a couple of pastors I knew in this area. We wasn't trying to go abroad. We're going to make sure we respond to this area. And we had about 9 pastors get on the call. And we began to talk just to have a platform to kind of share what we were thinking. Whether we not to tell each other we should have church, not trying to tell each other we shouldn't have church, not even trying to give answers to stuff that we don't know. The main reason why we want to have this call is to let everybody know that you wasn't alone. I talked to one pastor, he changed his plans 3 times about if he was going to have church or how he was going to have church. I changed my plan about 5 or 6 times on how I was going to have church. But what I try to do is communicate with you as much as possible because I don't want you to be in the blind. And so as we talked, I let them know one thing I want you to do. Every last one of you, I want y'all to do one thing for me. I said, I'm not being a bishop on this call. I'm not being your pastor. I'm being a brother. I'm sharing my experience with you. I said, one thing I want you to do is whatever you decide to do, whether you decide to have church, whether you decide not to have church, whether you decide to live stream, whether you decide not to live stream, I want you to make a commitment to me right now as a brother that you stick to your guns on whatever you decide to do, and you do it because you and your heart have decided this is what you need to do to keep yourself safe, keep your family safe, and keep your church members safe. And I say, stick to it. Somebody say, stick to it. Stick to it. And so I challenged them to stick to it. But I told them, I said, but before I could tell you that, I had to go seek my heart and ask myself, why are you so adamant, Bishop, on having church this morning? Somebody sitting on screen right now watching me, and they said, yeah, Bishop, I want to know, why are you so adamant on having church this morning? Didn't you hear the CDC and the government say no more than 10 people in a building? I did hear that. I did hear that. And then I began to wonder, someone asked me, another pastor called me and said, Bishop, will we be breaking the law if we go and we have church? So immediately I reached out to one of my friends, Ernest Bell, and he's the Secretary of State for Central County, Walker County, and Liberty County, and asked him, I said, am I breaking the law if we have church this morning? And he reached out to the governor, and Governor Abbott reached back out to him and told him that we're not making a mandate on churches because there's a separation of church and state. They legally can't tell me I can't have church. They can't tell me we can't leave our homes. Now, if they tell us we can't leave our homes, we won't have church then. We'll figure out something else then. But until they tell me we can't leave our homes, we're going to still come to church. Amen? Amen. And so when I found it out, I found out legally we could. Somebody say legally. Legally. Y'all got to talk to me. Somebody say legally. Legally. We could have church. But I'm going to tell you a secret. Everything that's permissible is not also always beneficial. So you got to be wise. So just because we legally can, don't mean we should. This is why I'm not condemning nobody for not being here. So I dig deep in my heart and say, God, why would I have church? If a lot of the pastors I have in church, and y'all see T.D. Jakes doing it, and I know Bishop Woodard doing it, but can I know I'm not T.D. Jakes, I'm not Bishop Woodard? So I had to make sure I had my reason for why I am here today. And so someone posted on Facebook, and I won't say the fullness of the statement that they made, but they said these words, you know them churches don't have church because they need their money. I'm going to tell you right now, that's not my reason why. And some other people had other reasons why. So I have to ask God, why am I here on this day when there's so many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of churches that say, you know, we're going to go live on TV, we're not going to do things different. Or we are going to do things different. I'm going to tell you my reason why I'm here today. I had to think long and hard about it. All I could think about was back in 2019, about 6 months before the year's over, where God touched my heart and says, we're going to jump in 2020. He told me so strong, he showed me a vision, and I know I'm not crazy, he showed me the vision, and I began to share with you, we jumping, everyone said, we jumping in 2020.
Jumping in 2020.
I've seen people begin to believe slowly before 2020 even got here that I'm going to do something I've never done before. I'm going to take a leap of faith because I know God called me to greater. I know God called me to be more than just a child of God. God called me to be a servant of God.
Yes.
And I've seen people shift from children to servants. I've seen people see businesses going to open for them. I've seen people shift and say, you know what, I can see myself being bigger. I can see myself being married. I can see myself being a business owner. I've seen a shift in mindsets. And so I saw that shift. And so when I began to think about not having church, I began to tell myself and think to myself that, God, if we lose that momentum, it's going to take all hell and more to get it back. And God, I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure we don't lose that momentum ever again. So no, I'm not here to get an offering. I'm here to maintain a rhythm that you still can jump in 2020. Because once all this epidemic is gone, we got to live with our new lifestyle. We got to live with the decision we made. And so, yeah, I understand you're at home, but take this message, take my messages, and tell yourself, I still can jump. Yes. Somebody say, I still can jump. And when this epidemic is gone, I'm going to jump. Yeah. Can I tell you why I'm still here? I'm still jumping. So this is why I couldn't stop, Pastor Tanya. I want to continue motivating you. Yes. I want to continue reminding you that the same God that put the word in me didn't take it from me because a coronavirus came. I still got it in me, and I still believe in you. Yeah. I believe in you and sitting in your living room. I believe in you in your car. I believe in you sitting at your desk watching this video. I still believe in your jump. Man. And I still believe that you can jump in spite of Corona and COVID-19 or whatever's come across this country. I believe that God can sit us down for a minute to make better plans while we're jumping. Yes. So no, I can't stop. I can't quit. And I can't preach like this sitting in front of a computer. I live on the stage so the world knows that I gotta believe that I can do this. Amen. So no, I'm not here because I need an offering. And I do challenge every person to pay offering. Why? Because when it's over with, we still gotta pay bills. Amen. But right now, I promise you, people still gonna pay online. Yeah. Why? Because they're not paying for me, they're paying for God. Amen. So listen, I believe. I truly believe in every last one of your gifts. That's my why. Now, why you here, I don't know. I really thought I was going to be here this morning, doing praise and worship with my children, because they didn't have a choice. My wife had a choice. I don't know if she was going to use it, though. But I thought we was going to be here by ourselves. So I'm glad to see you here. But I'm reluctant to say thank you, because if I say thank you, I'm telling somebody else who didn't come that I'm not thankful for them. Yeah. So I'm glad to see you this morning, because I'm not here by myself, but I can't thank you. But I hope God can thank you, and you can thank God for whatever God told you to do. Yeah. Don't condemn anybody in this season. Right. And don't you dare think that you're any better because you're here and somebody else didn't come. Don't you dare do that. Because every last one of y'all came at your own risk. Yeah. Like we go to the store at our own risk. We go to work at our own risk. And some people say, well, they can go to work, they can come in. Well, no, some people got to make sure I can go to work because I got bills to pay. Bishop Harden ain't paying my bills. And so I got to make sure I stay healthy so I still can go to work as long as I can go to work because I don't know when they're going to shut the doors. So somebody say, don't judge. Don't judge. What you don't understand. What you don't understand. So listen, if you're watching right now, I believe in you, and I understand where you are. Can we just hear this message today and take it to your heart and utilize it, and let's make sure when this whole thing is over with that we can still walk together. Somebody give God some praise. Amen. So listen. So real quick, we're going to go right into this Soar piece. We can't stop. Won't stop. Can't stop. Won't stop. Right down Soar. We're going to close up this series. Next week, I don't know what's going to happen next week. I don't. I still have plans to come into church this coming Wednesday. I still have plans to letting Evangelist Dixon preach next Sunday. If it don't happen that way, we'll adjust accordingly. Somebody say amen? Amen. But right now, we got to close this series out. And the series today is Soar. And we know Soar, by definition, write this down, is to gain and maintain altitude. Gain and maintain altitude. And I got to stop and make sure that you understand the word gain means to increase. Increase. Maintain means whatever you increase, you can stay there for a while. You can hang out there. If you know, like I know, I've been saved almost, I guess I'm 40 years old. I got saved for real, I'm going to say at 21. I got saved at 19, but I got saved again at 21 for my students that are going to go to school one day. You may catch yourself slipping one day and you find out what your salvation really is. When you go to college and when you go to the military. I was committed to church before I got committed to God. And when I got out there in the world, I found out without church, I still needed God. Okay? Just because you commit to come to church doesn't mean you commit to stick with God. Some people religion goes for church. When church is over with, they go back doing their own thing. That's what I was at 19. I strongly believed in God. There was a church. But I didn't really believe in the God who was outside of church. So I still did my own thing. But at 21, I really gave my life to Christ. But one thing I began to realize that as I grew in my relationship with Christ is that I would do good for a while, then I'd come down. Do good for a while, and I'd come down. And underneath, I can always admit, I can never get mad at God when I came down because it's at my cost. It was because of something I did. How many of y'all can admit every time you had a decline in your relationship with God, how many of y'all can admit that it was you?
Yes, sir.
And can I understand right now, and I can tell you right now, the reason why you declined and you was okay with being you, because it didn't cost you as much as it would cost you now? That then it was just costing you some lost sleep. It was costing you maybe a light bill or so. But when you're in your place in your life right now, how many of y'all can't afford a decline?
Right.
I may lose my whole income. Matter of fact, I may lose my mind if I lose my So I can afford a decline. So when I first got saved, Brother Matt, I can afford a decline. Right now, I cannot afford a decline. I look at my children in her eyes. I cannot stand to see her hungry right now. I look at my wife in her eyes. I can't stand to see her homeless right now. There's some things in my life. I know everything. So can I tell you this here? When you first get saved, you still got some stuff that you got. Amen. I'm a preacher. I got all day. Somebody say, when you first get saved, you still got some stuff. That you got. So God will take his one thing he gave you. You take that one car, you still got your house that you got without God. You still got your man you got without God. You still got your job you got without God. So God can take that one car he gave you, so I've been saved, and I'm still cool. But what happened when everything you got is because God gave it to you? And he take one thing right now, everything else is going to start coming and falling. I got anybody like that in the house today? So in my life right now, I can afford a decline. So when I gain, Sister Lee, I got to maintain my elevation because my children's future is so connected to my next move. Somebody say gain?
Gain.
Maintain.
Maintain.
So not just gain, maintain. Somebody say altitude.
Altitude.
What altitude is elevation. Now I'm going to stop and give you this clause right quick. Write this down. My elevation is directly connected to my level of my obedience to God. My elevation is directly connected to my level of obedience to God. Low elevation, low obedience. High elevation, high obedience. Low elevation, low obedience. High elevation, high obedience. So it means the more obedient I am, the higher I go. Therefore, it defines me why Marshall Strickland said we move at the speed of our obedience. That means the faster we go in obedience, the higher we get in our call to God. So if you find yourself nose diving and you know God called you to do that, somebody say, God called me to this.
God called me to this.
So if God called you to it, I can guarantee you 100% that if you decline, you can check your disobedience measurement, and I promise you'll check the fact that you have not done what God told you to do.
Wow.
So the declaration.
Declaration.
I can almost declare it right now that you are disobedient. So I'm disobedient.
Disobedient.
Now declining in what God calls you don't mean you won't go through sometimes just because you maintain me, you won't go through sometimes while you're in the level you're on. You ever hear me say somebody say new ground zero? Anybody hear me say new ground zero?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes in life you know that as long as I don't mess up, this is my new ground zero. That I'm not going to go no lower than this. You just know it. You just feel in your heart that if I just don't mess up, I know I'm not going no lower than this.
But if I stay obedient, I'm going to go higher or I'm going to maintain here. Somebody say gain, maintain, altitude. So that's my goal. We said we're jumping in 2020. And listen, jumping is not a wishful hope that I can just pick something and jump into it. If you want to successfully jump this year, if you want to successfully shift this year, you need to do exactly what God called you to do. Now, I got to do a census in the room right quick. And it's not the census that people told you if you feel like you're going to get your check. I promise they lied to you. That's not going to be contingent on your check. Somebody say a different census.
Different census.
This census I'm going to do in the room is ask yourself, how many of y'all know for a fact God has called you to do something besides just be a child of God? Okay, I saw 5 hands. I'm going to try that one more time. Maybe you didn't get the census in your mailbox, so I'm going to send it out one more time. I want everybody to tell me right now, how many of y'all know for a fact God calls you to do something to be more than just a child of God? I got a couple of people. See, what I'm telling you is secret. To be a child of God, there's not much effort outside of yourself. To be a saved child of God, we all get called to be a saved child of God. And so just to get your life together, that's just you obeying God for you. But somewhere in your life, you're going to shift from just being a party of one to being a party called to more than one. And then you're called to do greater. And now you got to be obedient. Somebody say obedient.
Obedient.
And your obedience is going to be connected to somebody else's outcome. Your obedience is connected to someone else's outcome. And at least sometimes you just start at your address. It just started, my obedience is going to affect my house. It went from just being me to now my obedience is going to affect my children. My obedience is going to affect my husband. My obedience is going to affect my wife. So now in this level of your life, your obedience may just affect your household. But when your obedience go beyond you, your disobedience affect beyond you. What happened when you delay your child because you acting up? What happened when you delay your husband because you acting up? God will say, I'm just letting you test drive and see can you handle your house before I take you outside your house. So that was a small jump. That was you just going to school, small jump. That was you just going to work, small jump. That was you trusting God for an apartment, small jump. It affected your house because before now, nobody in your house done anything like that before. But what happened when your jump affect folks on your street?
Yes, sir.
When folks on your street start looking at you, whoa. That's a shift in ministry. Because now you go from just having a household to having a worldwide ministry because everybody looking. Now listen, so somebody say jump.
Jump.
So when we jump, we're trying to soar, but you can't soar until you jump. And we deal with the fact that soar means that we're going to gain, maintain, elevation. Somebody say gain, maintain, elevation. So if we're going to gain and maintain elevation, there's only one way. We talked about this already. We're going to move through this kind of quickly. If we're going to gain and maintain elevation, mama, we cannot lose vision. I got to stop and pause for another second. Look to your neighbor and say, don't lose vision.
Don't lose vision.
Now don't touch them, just tell them, don't lose vision. And if you can't in church with them, you can touch them, nudge them, say, Bishop, don't lose vision. If you didn't ride with them, don't touch them. Amen. Somebody say, don't lose vision.
Don't lose vision.
You know I said this here, but sometimes you can get so quick moving to something that you may miss a piece and you need to make sure they get it all, Minister Matt. And so I want to make sure you understand. Somebody say, my vision isn't self-induced. It's God-infused.
Yes, God-infused.
I need you to write that down. Because some of y'all been writing visions that God ain't had nothing to do with it. I was just trying to write down what I wanted. Well, it's okay to want. But in this ministry, in your life, this part of your life, you got to make sure what you're doing is God told you to do it. How do you know God told me to do it? Because I can't rest until I get it done. And I tell you like this here. I tell pastors all the time. I talked to a pastor this past week, and he's fighting, him and his wife fighting about going out lunch not to be a pastor. Right now they're part of ministry. They've been fighting with it. And he's like, Bishop, I knew I need to call you because I knew you had the same heart like me. And he says, that man, I don't know if I should be doing it. I said, is it breaking your heart, the fact that you're not doing it? He said, yes. I said, it means God calling you. He only breaks your heart for what he wants your heart to be invested in. If he didn't break your heart for it, you wouldn't be connected to it. Well, my pastor don't get it. I say, sometimes, as long as you're moving towards God, you might have to disobey man to obey God.
Yes.
Listen, Bishop Wood didn't see me being over my own fellowship. But listen, he said, son, if you believe it, go ahead and do it because I'm going to support you. Lady Wood is still saying, I don't believe it. I love Lady Wood. But guess what? I can't wait for her to believe before I do it. Yeah. So I'm not telling nobody to be disobedient, but I will tell everybody, obey what God told you to do. And if God told you to do it, you're going to excel. If not, you may find out coming back and say, I miss God. But don't be too prideful and say, I miss God. Yeah. Can I help you all right? But somebody say, when I know
know.
God told me to do something.
God told me this.
I know it.
I know it.
Because he'll give me vision.
Because he'll give me vision.
Now, don't run with umption if you ain't got vision. Because sometimes you got to umption to do something, and it don't mean he didn't say do it. You just didn't hang out long enough to get the full vision of it. And so you're out there running on umption, but you don't know what it's supposed to look like. And you wonder why it's not succeeding because I'm doing what God called me to do. But baby, you didn't get the full picture of what he said. I told you right now, if God tell me to do anything, I'll pull over on the side of the road. I'll shut down my whole day. Matter of fact, I'm going on vacation next week to just get the full vision of what God said. Somebody say, get it in full, and you won't look like a fool. I got to make you laugh a little bit to get through this day, amen. So listen, so I got to get you to see. So you can't lose vision. If you lose vision, you will lose altitude. If you lose altitude, it's because you lost obedience. You can't be obedient to what you don't see.
Okay.
If I don't see it, I can't obey it. Can I tell you, God will allow Corona to come through to see what you wash your windshield to keep vision. What would you do to keep vision even though Corona coming through? Are you going to allow your plane to start nosediving just because they say you can't go to church? Are you going to let your plane start nosediving because they say you can't go to work? Are they going to let your plane start nosediving because you got 5 extra little folks in your house talking all day long? Are you going to get up before they get up so you can still make vision? You can't let nothing disrupt when God calls you to do something, even if Corona comes through. Can I tell you, Corona don't put pause on calls. Your call is still there. This is why I'm here this morning. Never going to condemn nobody, because even though Corona showed up, I'm still Bishop Harden Jr. The Newdestinyfellowshipchruch Church. We're changing them out to change the world, even in Corona. Are your call contingent on what you can see right now, or will you able to adjust your sight so you can still see what God called you to do? Can I preach this morning? So you got to gain, maintain altitude. If you lose altitude, because you lost vision. If you lose vision, you lose obedience. Can I tell you? Obedience is not always sin. It's like obedience is not always sin. Well, I don't tell me this. I ain't lying, I ain't cussing, I ain't cheating, I ain't stealing. But yet God said move and you still sitting. Can I tell you it's not a sin not to move? But it's disobedient not to move when God told you to move. And you may still get to heaven, but you may suffer all the way there. Because you never obeyed what God told you to do. I gave my life, but yet you didn't give your spirit and soul to it. Can I get a time? So, in your area of your life, in my life right now, Sister Miles, Minister Miles, Evangelist Miles, obedience is perfect. And I'm not going to be obedient that I got to see vision. And if I told you I got to see it, I mean, God had to give it to me. If God gave it to me, I should have wrote it down. Somebody said, should have wrote it down.
Should have wrote it down.
If I wrote it down, now I can see it. And you know you got the full vision. So I made him put this out there, so I got to go and slow down and put this out there. You know you got the full vision when the vision tells you 3 things. Okay. Don't just make up 3 things. But you got the full vision when you see the 3 things in the vision. The who. It will tell you who you are in the vision. It'll tell you what you're doing in the vision. And it'll tell you how you're doing it in the vision. And if you don't have all 3 of those, if you just got who you are, God will still talk and you didn't hear the rest. Every time he gave vision to every man in the Bible, he let them know who they are. He let them know what I called you to do. And he told you how you're going to do it. Because those are called standards and conditions. And that's what he called covenants. Woo, go deeper, go deeper, go deeper. He never give you a call without a covenant. And a covenant is a condition to the call. If you don't meet the covenant, you don't get the call. If you meet the covenant, you get the call. So are you running and call without covenant? Woo! I'm going to go deeper, I'm going to go deeper, I'm going to go deeper. Are you running and call without covenant? And are you running and call without covenant without a covering and hold you accountable to the covenant? If you're called, your call should become submission to a man or woman of God to cover you, to hold you accountable to the covenant. That's why NDCM says, well, we hold you accountable to the call. We're covering your covenant that you got with God because the man in you don't want to obey all the time. That's why we come to church, because I need the covering for my covenant. This is why I can go do anything. I need the covering for my covenant because the man in me don't want to listen to the God in me. I need a man to call out the God in me. Yes. God leads. Can I preach this morning? I got my own business. Is it covered? And it's maintaining your covenant. Well, I ain't called the church. No, it's called the covering your covenant. I don't need the pastor. That's why you keep nosediving. Nosediving. Because ain't nobody holding your cover accountable. All right, Vernon said, don't tell me who you're over. And tell me who you're under. So I said, who's covering your covenant? Your covenant is vision. I called Bishop. As soon as all this happened, Mama, I put my covenant up under my covering. Bishop, I don't know if I should have church tonight. I don't know. I'm scared. I'm scared not to, and I'm scared too. Boy, he said, why are you scared not to? I'm scared not to because we're going to vision. I'm scared too because we may break the law. He said, son, you ain't breaking the law. Well, that's still gone. Now I'm scared not to. Why? Because I put my covenant. I don't know why God sent me there. I put my covenant up under my covering and let my covering tell my covenant it is all right. Because vision is important. Whatever you're doing, ask yourself to get the whole entire vision. And I told you the first week, your vision will begin off by telling you who you are. When God told Noah, before God told Noah anything else, he said, I'm going to destroy the whole world, but I'm going to save you. Before he told him, I'm going to save your children. Before he told you, I'm going to save your animals, he said, I'm going to save you. So his name became saved. Somebody said, who you are? No one knew if nothing else happened, I'm saved. I told you the first week that the moment, this is you in your own lifestyle. This is a line in the sand. It's a line in the sand. This is me in my own lifestyle. When God called me saved, as long as I did what he said, now I have to leave out my unsaved condition. When God told me saved, I wasn't saved before. I was like everyone else. Even though the whole world was destroyed and the whole world was nasty and corrupted, guess what? Noah was in that world. But not until God called him to obedience was he saved. So the moment his name changed to saved, he left his own lifestyle. And somebody say, your name will tell you who you not no more. You wasn't a hairdresser before, but now you are. You wasn't a wife, but now you are. You wasn't a husband, but now you are. Why? Because God called you there.
Yes.
In your single condition, he called you married, even though you ain't got a husband yet. Why? Because he needs you to change your position before you change your posture.
Man.
Just because you look married, don't mean you're married if you're still in an old single position. He said, change your position. Now listen, I told you when you know your name, now you lock out your past. Write it down for those who weren't here. You lock out your past. Okay, I'm going to stop here and close, slow down, get this here. So I said every part is pertinent. Well, go back up one more second. Everybody say every part of the vision.
Every part of the vision
is pertinent. For maintaining. Elevation. I'm sorry, elevation. And I forgot the last part with a little effort. Every part of the vision. Why a little effort? All you got to do is follow all three parts. That's a little effort. And you maintain elevation. And so you got to know now it's important. I mean, it's a matter you know who you are. Because the moment you know who you are, you know who you're not. I lock out my past. I limit me from people. Now I know I can't be her because now I'm saved. I can't go to the club. I'm a wife. I can't go when I was single woman. I'm a husband. I can't go to the strip club no more. I limit this. I lock out my past. Now I limit me from people. Can I tell you in your next level, everybody's not going to do what you're doing?
Right.
Just because you're going to church, I mean everybody in church is going to act like church. Or going to act like you're called. Can I tell you, just because you're called and somebody else beside you called, what you can get away with, they may can't get away with. And what they can get away with, you may can't get away with. You got to limit yourself from people. Lock out your past, limit you from people, and somebody say, it will lead you to your purpose.
Lead you to your purpose.
That was your jump. The moment you said, I'm going to open that LLC, you jumped from being just an employee to being a business owner. The moment you said, I'm going to stop running around with everybody else, you from being just a single girl to a single girl waiting to get married. The moment you change your position, you jumped. And now you know who you're not, and now you know what you're supposed to become. And so the next thing he tells you, somebody say, what you're doing. What you're doing is on the other side of obedience. I got to give this to you. This is the ship. This is the journey. This is in between the changing of name, and now I was obedient. Somebody, what you're doing is what God is calling you to produce from your obedience. I told you last week, Brother Ken got KNC yard cutting companies. And I told you that who he is KNC yard cutting business. Before, I tell you he was an inmate, but now he's no longer an inmate, now I'm an entrepreneur. I went from an inmate to entrepreneur. Why? Because my name changed. But I'm not just cutting yards. I'm changing the world 1 yard at a time. What are you doing? Changing the world. Newdestinyfellowship Church, what we're doing? Changing our mind to do what? Change the world. I'm not just doing here, I'm changing the way women think one head at a time about themselves. What are you doing? Change the way people think. Somebody say, yeah, what you're doing, gotta be bigger than you.
Gotta be bigger than you.
If you are doing something that God calls you to do, your what gotta be bigger than you. If your what not bigger than you, you'll quit what you're doing when you go through. I'm gonna say it again. If your outcome is not bigger than you, what you're going through will make you stop doing it. If the fact I want to change my mind and change the world, do you think I'll be here this morning? If I was just coming to church for me, I would change me at home right now. But the reason I'm here this morning is because my outcomes say, I got to change your mind so I can change you and how you think about you, so you're bigger than me. So if you got a vision, but your vision is not doing anything more than you'll quit your vision. Somebody say, yo, what you're doing is the outcome of why you're doing it. Your why will hurt. Your why will hurt you. Noah was saved. Everybody say Noah was saved. And I gotta say this here, he was only saved contingent of him being obedient to God. If he would have never built the ship, he'd still be there like everyone else. So say Noah was saved. But not only was Noah saved, he was saved to save his children and two of every kind of animal. So what I'm about to go through is going to be hell. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. But I'm doing it to save my kids. It's going to be hell. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. But I'm doing it to save every kind of animal out there. So my why is going to keep me to my how. You got me? Somebody said how is going to hurt. Opening up the destiny hurts. No, I'm going to say open up hurts. Keeping it open hurts. It hurts. Living outside of my 2-story comfortable house hurts. But why I'm doing it? Can I tell you, sitting on the cross hurt.
Come on. Yeah.
But the fact that knowing that I'm doing it for you, I'm going to stay on the cross.
Yeah.
He knew he was saved. And he knew for him to save you, he had to do his how. His how was the cross, his why was you. Are you staying on your cross because somebody else needs you to stay there? Are you staying in that job God called you to because somebody else needs you to stay there? Are you staying in that business that's more than you want to quit so many times because somebody told you that I'm saving the world 1 million at a time?
Yeah.
Are you doing it just because I promise you, because you'll quit quickly? Maybe it's why you quit because you didn't get your why. Or you just quitting because you don't care about your why. Oh, it's quiet. Corona, folks. Well, Lord forgive me. Folks who stay at home because of Corona, it's quiet not because there's nobody here. It's quiet because they're thinking.
I'm thinking.
Somebody say, now I know who I am.
I know who I am.
I know why I'm going to go through what I'm going to go through. Okay? I know who I am. I know why I'm going to go through what I'm about to go through. And if you don't know why, when you get to going through it, you're a real ship real fast. So I know why. I know why I'm going to get I'm going to lose money sometimes. I know why. I'm going to be uncomfortable. I know why. I'm going to be in some bad situations. I know why the lights going to go off sometimes. I know why. Now I got to know how. I got to know how. Somebody say how.
How?
The word how, by definition, yeah, look at me. My iPad keep down. I'm walking too far away from me. Somebody say amen.
Amen.
Somebody say how.
How.
Write this word down for how. Definition for how. How is in what way or manner. In what way or manner. In what way or manner. I don't care who you are. I don't care why you're doing it. you won't get it if you don't do it the way God told you to. Okay? I don't care who you are. I don't care why you're doing it. I don't care if you are saved, Noah. I don't care if you say to say your children. If you don't build the ark the way God told you to build the ark, you are your children ain't going to get saved. Okay. So you can't go the easy route. You can't go the short route. You got to go the exact route he told you to. If not, you're going to miss a piece. The whole boat going to fall apart. He was very specific on every condition because I believe every condition, I ain't gonna say I know every condition was contingent on them surviving. You may get out, but you're going to die along the way. I don't want to just get out and die. I want to get out and live. I don't want to get out of the rented house on the way to the own house and get in any house and end up back in the rented house. I want to get out and live. I don't want to just get out just doing anything. I want to get out and know, God, I did everything you called me to do. So I'm expecting the other side.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
This is why it's important you know who you are. Because you know who you are, people change your mind about who you are.
Right.
And it's important you know why you're doing it. Because you know why you're doing it. You'll change your mind of who you are.
Yeah.
Change your mind, change the world. Change your mind, change the world. Change your mind, change the world. How are you doing it, Bishop Harden? By changing your mind about our family, friends, finances, food, and fun. Don't you know it's hard to change your mind about food? I lost weight. Enough to get me going. Now I gain weight enough to slow me down. I'm going to say it one time. I lost weight enough to get me going. And I gained enough weight enough to slow me down. It wasn't the weight that slowed me down. It was the disobedience. So now I'm getting up in the morning time, beating my body, and making my slave. So when I get through preaching, I won't get disqualified from the pride.
Yeah.
Why are you getting up and everybody else stay in the bed? Because when it's over with, I didn't look like where I'm going. Family. I'm working hard to make sure I tell my family. I treat my daddy different. I treat my mama different. I treat my stepmama different. I treat my siblings different. Why? Because I didn't understand everything when I was coming up. But I realize now my family is contingent on my call.
Yes.
My family is contingent on my call. I thought with the call about the family. I called the family when I first got started. But when I got going, I forgot about the family. And then realized my plane again, the snow died.
Yes, sir.
See, the problem, you're too proud to admit the dive. You're too proud to say that I know the fact my house ain't acting right. You're too proud to say I know my business ain't doing good. Because don't but know you ain't being obedient. I'm preaching and you say amen or not. Someone say how?
How?
How is a means of getting it done. Write down the details. Somebody say the details. Am I helping somebody out? Somebody say you need the details.
Details.
The reason why I need the details, because the details will tell you three things. The moment you got the details, I know who I am. I know why I'm doing it. But now I need to know how. And Minister Matt, the moment you know how, you instantly are equipped with three things. Instantly, you got three things in your back pocket. As long as you know the details, the first thing you know is what you're supposed to be doing. Instantly. So let's look at Noah's details. I gave y'all a paper because I didn't know if Brother Darren's going to be here. But since Brother Darren's here, let's look at Noah's details. Let's look at his details. First detail was, Noah, I don't care who you think you are. I don't care how much you think you're the leader. I don't care how powerful you are. If you want your children to be saved, if you want your wife to be saved, if you want your children's wives to be saved, if you want your whole generation behind you to be saved, your butt better be obedient. If you are disobedient, you may cost your sons, you may cost your sons' wives, you may cost your wife and your whole family boat to start sinking. Do I got anybody in the house who can admit to themselves every now and then your disobedience caused your whole house to start sinking?
Yes.
My whole house. My car cousin started seeking. My best friend started seeking. Because of my lack of obedience. God, I just got tired. I was still going there. I just got tired of doing it that way. God said, get tired now. Go all the way to the finish line. You're talking about all the way back to the beginning. If you ain't right, I'll tear apart and start over again. I refuse to build my new house in disobedience because I refuse to build it all over again. He'll do it to you. He'll do it to you. He'll get a promotion. And your whole job will do cutbacks just because of your disobedience. Tell you a secret real quick. I won't tell you the full secret, it's part of the secret. My wife was called to do something. About 6 months ago, about a year ago. And I called my wife and said, baby, God told me that you're going to do this. She said, what are you crazy? I don't care. I told you, I'm supposed to tell you, now you got to be obedient. And so God told her, for us to get some stuff done, she had to be obedient. Now, by this time, she's looking for what God told her. Because God put your book so much to where you look for what God said, even though you don't want it when He said it. But when she got ready to get it, I can't tell you the story. Stop trying to dig. Just follow the best you can. And so when she got ready to get it, it got delayed. It's bad when you don't want it, but now you want it, it don't want you.
Yeah.
And she's sitting there and she's like, man, and she's nervous. Every time the phone rings, baby, sit down. If you guys want to, I ain't lying. And one day God told me, I said, baby, God just told me something. I went to the mailbox early in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. I said, God just told me something. 2 days before that, we did a tight budget. Tight. And I told him, if we're going to get it, God's going to do, God, we got to get a budget. See, some of y'all trying to stop smoking. I'm trying to keep budget. Some of y'all trying to stop drinking. I'm trying to keep budget. My blessing is connected to a budget and losing weight.
Come on, Lord.
And so I don't know what your blessing connected to. Whatever your blessing connected to, you keep on doing it if you want to, think you're going to get it. And so I literally, no lie, my wife been waiting 3 months for this phone call. I went 6 o'clock in the morning to the mailbox. Dropped Madison off to get on the bus, check the mailbox, heading home. And on the way home, God said, since you was obedient, now the call will come.
Thank you, God.
I came home, told my wife, baby, God told me to tell you, you held up everybody else who was waiting on their blessing because of your lack of obedience. God paused everybody from getting this blessing for 3 months. And when I called her, and I told her what God told me, she got a phone call 3 hours later saying, hey, by the way, we just unblocked what you've been waiting on.
Amen.
And now not only I'm blocking for you, I'm blocking for everybody who's been waiting on it. And I told you, your lack of obedience was causing everybody who was waiting to sink.
Wow.
You don't think you that anointed.
Come on.
But when your call connected to a crowd, the crowd was suffering until you answer your call.
Yes,
who are you holding up because of your lack of obedience? She never thought that people in Milwaukee, people in Cincinnati, people in California, people in New York, everybody was waiting on her obedience.
My God.
And they say you still have to wait 3 weeks. They just want to call you and give you good news. They couldn't wait 3 weeks later, Daddy. But God umptioned the obedience to the call and gave good news until the call came. I'm going to preach it if you want to hear it or not. So I say, if you're going to do it,
You're going to
do it exactly
do it. Exactly.
the way He said it.
Yes.
You better stop folks to say stuff like, girl, if I was you, I'd do it. Then you ain't me.
Yeah.
When I did this way. You ain't doing it. When we was going through this thing this week, I thank God for my wife. Because everybody else is saying what they should do as a pastor, what you shouldn't do as a pastor. My wife said, baby, I want you to know, whatever you do, I got your back. Why? Because she didn't want to get away with me being obedient to God.
Right.
Somebody say, be obedient.
Be obedient.
So let's look at his. The first thing you know is, if you know the details, you know what you're supposed to do. So number one, he says, details number one, so I say, make it.
Make it.
So I said, make it.
Make it.
Out of
Cypress
wood.
Cypress wood.
I don't care how much cypress wood costs. It better not be made in oak. Just because oak was on sale, don't do it. Just because you got good cypress wood from your enemy, well, God, the man who don't likely sell the cypress wood, you better go beg for it. I don't care how you gotta get the cypress wood. You better find your. Can I tell you, the detail is part of your transformation. He wasn't wasting time on cypress wood because it was cypress Wood. He knew the hell you wanted to go through to get Cypress Wood. And by the time you got it, you was going to look better when you God gave you what you called for. The details is detailing you. One more time. The details is detailing you.
Thank you, God.
Wherever you got to call, wherever you got to go, my next series is Never Say Never. What if you say, I'll never go to sister so-and-so who got Cypress Wood? God will turn your never into forever until you do what you never said.
Yes, he will.
So it's Cypress Wood.
Cypress Wood.
Listen, next thing he says, rooms in it coated with pitch, inside and out. Somebody say pitch. Yes. What pitch is the understanding of covering. Every room you make, it better be covered. Everything you do, it better be covered. Are you doing some things in your call that God can't cover? See, it ain't like it used to be. You can do halfway good, halfway bad, and still get halfway of a blessing. God said his new blessing, too many people got to get on the boat. I can't let it sink because of disobedience. Whenever they came out of the change of the Old Testament, New Testament, I can't remember their name right now, but they lied a little bit about their tithes. I think it's Benaiah, whatever their name is. And when they lied, immediately they were struck down to death. Then the husband came in. He lied, struck down to death. And you think to yourself, God, why? I got too much riding on this next transition for the rebirth on disobedience. We came out of too many years of disobedience to let 1 ounce. Can I tell you, in your new transition in life, you can have 1 ounce of disobedience. Immediately your flame will crash and burn. Somebody say Cypress Wood.
Cypress Wood.
Everything covered.
Everything
The
covered.
next thing, 300 cubits long. Somebody said it better be the length.
Better be length.
He told you to be.
He told you to be.
I don't care what he said. Do it as long as he said do it, or do it as short as he said do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
God, that's too long. That ain't long enough. He didn't ask you what it should look like. He just said build it. Are you trying to modify God's building to look like what you want it to be? Or are you just going to build it because when you get the building, you ain't going to live it anyways? Wish I would tell a man to build my house and I get it and build it the way he wants to live in it. You're going to pay for it. Whatever you build, and God told you to look some other way, you're going to pay for it. If you would have built it the way he said build it, he was going to pay for it.
Right.
But the fact that you build it the way you want to build it, you're going to pay for it. And not only you're going to pay for it, mama say, make the bed, lie in it. You're not just going to pay for it, you're going to have to live in it. Until he's ready to build it all over again. Some of y'all listen to stuff, you say, God, please tear it down. Please tear it down. God said, I'm going to tear it down when I'm ready. But when I do tear it down, I best believe you won't build it like that no more. Am I preaching today?
Yes, sir.
Someone say, 30 cubits high, 50 cubits wide, and make a roof for it. Leave below the roof and open it at 1 cubit high around the whole entire place. Listen. Put a dome in the side of the ark. He said 1 dome. He didn't say many domes. He said 1 dome. And then it says, make a lower, middle, and upper deck. Somebody say, I know instantly now.
No, instantly now.
What to do.
What to do.
Instantly, Dad, I know exactly what to do. We told him, change your destiny first to church, shake a line about our family, friends, finances, food, and fun. Elderly, I tried to put faith in them. I tried. It never got written. I just said it, and it never felt right. Because God said, I didn't tell you to build your destiny first to church. We changed about our family, friends, finances, food, and fun, and faith. Because they changed their finances, food, family, friends, and fun. Their faith had changed already. So why are you trying to build something I never told you to build? Or are you trying to modify because it sounds better, look better, feel better? God said, when I signed you up for this job, I didn't ask for your eyes, I didn't ask for your taste, I didn't ask for your nose or your ears, I asked for your hands. Just give me your hands. The pastor needs your eyesight. Give him your hands. He don't need your heart. Give him your hands. Oh! Because the moment you get eyesight, that means you got to build your own building. What are you saying, Bishop? Because two visions can't be up on the same roof. I'm preaching today. So somebody say, build it.
Build it.
The way he said build it.
The way he said build it.
Can I tell you the second thing you know? You know what to do. Instantly, baby. And instantly now you know. Somebody say what not to do.
What not to do.
I can go back to the same list and I won't do it to waste your time. Brother Devin, can we go home? We're going to go home. I'm not wasting time. Go back to the same list. But can I tell you something? Instantly you know now that you better not use no other kind of wood. Instantly you know now, you better make sure every room coated. Instantly you know now, you better not make it greater than 300 cubits long. Somebody say, when you know what to do,
You know what to do.
you know
You know
what not to do.
what not to do.
Can I shift to my third and favorite part of building a vision? One thing T.D. Jakes told me in the book Soar. Minister Miles said, give me a team. He told me, you got staff now. You got to build staff because your dream got bigger than you. I got leaders over here, Daddy. I'm a business, Harden Enterprise. We're going to have a whole family. Harden Enterprise. Can I tell you secretly? I looked for it. I did. But every time I see God give a vision, it's usually on one of the leaders. Whenever he told Samson, mama, don't cut that boy hair, he didn't tell Samson daddy. Samson mama had to go back and tell Samson daddy. And when Samson daddy said, I want to hear from God, the angel came down and said, I'm coming here to tell you something. But why am I telling you? I already told your wife. Whenever he told John's mama, what was John's mama? Rebecca? Wasn't John? Elizabeth. Told Elizabeth, this is what you name that boy. And then when Zechariah didn't want to listen, he didn't come to Zechariah and tell Zechariah. He shut his mouth. Because I only gave one person vision. Can I tell every husband in the house right now? If he told your wife vision, listen to her. I'm telling your wife right now. If he gave your husband vision, listen to him. Because why? God spoke it, and it's their job now to enforce it.
Yes.
I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you. So your job is not to go back and question God. Did God say, you come trying to build a ship with me, but you want to add extra room? God didn't say add an extra room. You trying to come and the kids say, I want to paint it. God didn't say paint it like that. Trying to open a church. One thing I thank God for my wife and opening Destiny, my wife fought me 10 years almost before she wanted to become co-pastor because she didn't want to be a pastor. And I really wanted to say this. She wanted to say, I don't want to get in the way of God said, because I know me. She take quick, I know me. I'm ignorant sometimes. I'll be smart, take quick. I'm Job like sometimes. And you listen to me, we all shut down. Destiny would make this for me. What am I saying to you? Whenever you know the details, elderly, when you know the details, if you know that you got the vision, you know you got the vision. You know you got the details. You know, number one, what to do. I knew when God told me to open up NDCM. I knew he told me to do it. Sister Tamika, I knew he told me to do it. In spite of Bishop Wood seeing it, in spite of my wife seeing it, in spite of Newdestinyfellowship seeing it, I had one lady walk to me in the community, part of the community, she loved me to death. But she said this, Pastor, are you sure God told you to do that? Because I sure think you're being too big for your own britches. I love you, but God told me to do it. He tell you the details, so number one, you know what to do. Then you know what not to do. And then you know everybody who come help you, you can tell them now what they are supposed to do. I'm not asking you to help me build the shit, son. God told me to build it. But if you're going to come build it, you got to build the way God said build it. I'm not asking you to build it with the church, baby. But if you're going to be my wife this season, you got to build the way I say build it. My wife said, God didn't ask me to ask you, can I write the book? But if you're going to write the book, you can't tell me what to put in the book. You can't tell me what not to put in the book. All I know, if you're going to help me, don't tell me to change it from what God said. We're going to do it the way God gave you the how so you can make sure everybody who joined the ship later, you enforcing vision. I don't care how small your business is. I don't care how big your business is. It's not going to everybody who joined, follow the vision. I don't care how much money they bring to the table. You can't let them change the vision. I don't care how much clout they got. They're attracted to your vision. If they're attracted to your vision, if they were attracted, tell them to build their own vision. But right now, ask for me in my house. We are going to follow. God gave you the vision first to check you, then check everybody else who come in after you. Know who you are. Know why you're doing it. If you know who you are, and you know why you're doing it, you won't let nobody who come along the way change the how. We have a meeting tomorrow with our outreach organization. I don't care how much money they want them got, how much influence on them got. Sister Mickey tell you, Sister Lee tell you, I ain't changing vision no more. I did for a minute because, were they nice enough to help? No, they nice enough to join what God told you to build.
Right.
I got married and listen, I ain't had no man. So at least I should know. God said that husband was yours. And if God said husband was yours, and God said do it the way he said do it, you won't change nothing about you. They got to do with God. Now don't say, well, I ain't changing nothing. No, you're going to change some stuff. Yeah. But what God said do, you better not change. Yes. Brother Matt, that's why vision is so important. This is why everything I got, follow me on Facebook, YouTube, whatever. This is why everything I got a vision. I have a vision not because it sounds good. I got a vision because it holds me accountable, man. It reminds me in the middle of everything I'm going through why I'm doing it. And when I'm going through it, it reminds me who I am. And it reminds me the way I'm supposed to do it. So when listen, somebody say soar.
Soar.
Gain. Maintain. Altitude. Little effort. As I'm nose diving and I'm fighting, I'm working hard, and it's still not going right, I go back to vision. I open the book up, I read the vision. I look to see, am I still being who God called me to be? Am I still doing what God called me to do? Am I doing it the way God told me to do it? And 9 times out of 10, I'm being disobedient to the vision. I lost it. Money will make you lose vision. Yes. People make you lose vision. Problems make you lose vision. Sickness make you lose vision. Heartache will make you lose vision. Pain will make you lose vision. Loneliness will make you lose vision. Can I tell you, if you keep vision, God will get rid of heartache. God will get rid of loneliness. God will get rid of sickness. God will get rid of suffering. God will get rid of pain. He lets you go through just so you'll keep all for the vision.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
We're going to soar. We're going to soar. We're going to soar if we keep vision.
Yes.
New destiny, by way of wherever you sit at, or even this room, I'm not giving up on the jump. God told me in 2020, we're going to jump.
Yes.
We're going to do things we've never done before.
Yes, God.
I'm not giving up on it. If you look at me to preach about Corona, I preached last week. Texas inbox, I'll send you the message from Wednesday. But Corona can't take up no more time in my life. I got too much vision to finish right. Too much. So I'm sorry if you look at me to give you the word answer to Corona. I got one answer to Corona, obedience.
Yeah.
If I die for Corona, I'm going to die obedient.
Yeah.
If I live for Corona, I'm going to live obedient. And after everything done, I'm going to still be obedient. Somebody say obedience.
Obedience.
It's better.
It's better.
It's sacrifice.
It's sacrifice.
The reason why obedience is better than sacrifice because in your disobedience, you grew something that you got to kill out of obedience. So your obedience is better than sacrifice because if you disobey, you ain't got to kill nothing later. I refuse to grow something in the next 2 weeks because I can't be obedient to what I want to do. Because I'm stuck at home, I'm not going to go to another home. I ain't going to eat any kind of way. If all they got on the shelf is wings, we're going to have wings in every meal. Why? Because I can't eat beef and pork.
Man.
If all I got is tilapia, we eat tilapia. Why? Because I'm still sticking to this fast.
Man. Yes.
Well, Bishop, I had to put the fast down. That's you. What it's going to cost me to get there, it may not cost you. But for me to get there, I can't put a fast down just because Corona. Can I tell you, when I went to the store, all the beef was gone.
Yes.
When I got to the store, all the pork was gone. All they had was fish and chicken. Thank you, Lord.
Amen.
Come on, Sarah. I ain't got no beef. That's your business. I got chicken.
Yes.
I was so happy when I saw chicken. All kinds of chicken. Wing chicken. Breast with bone. Ain't about breast with bone in it so long. Breast with bones and chicken. I got me some chicken. I got it. Let's leave y'all alone. I came all over here today because I couldn't preach this at home. I couldn't preach this in front of the computer. I couldn't. Somebody can, I can't. Most of all, I couldn't allow somebody else to follow their conviction if I would have locked the doors. Somebody else is convicted to stay home today. Somebody else is convicted to be here today. Wherever your conviction leads you, let it lead you. But don't you dare leave here pointing the finger at nobody. Because you got the same words sitting there as they got sitting here. So I promise you, if you infuse it into your life, we'll never be the same. Someone say, my God is omnipotent. Someone say, my God is omniscient. Someone say, my God is omnipresent. The word omnipotent means all power. The word omniscient means all knowing. The word omnipresent means everywhere at one time. Why do I say that? Because you don't have to be sitting right here at the desk and do altar call right now. I dare you lay your phone down and keep it on. And if you got to prop it up, if you're on the computer, keep watching. But if you need God right now to help you because you know for a fact your plane keep down. Maybe you lose who you are sometimes. Maybe you forget what you're doing sometimes. Maybe sometimes you forget why you were doing it, or maybe you just forfeit it all together. I dare you where you are right now. If you're in this church, or if you're looking at me on this phone right now, I dare you right now to raise your hand and say, God, forgive me, for I have sinned and fallen short to your obedience. But God, I come now asking you to hit the reset button. If you give me one more chance, I won't forget who I am. If you give me one more chance, I won't forget what I'm doing. If you give me one more chance, I'll do it the way you said do it.
It's so God.
It's not about a place. God will meet you in your house right now. God will meet you in your car right now. God will meet you in your bedroom right now. God will meet you exactly where you are. All you must do is be obedient. If you're in this room, I dare you to swing your heart right now and say, God, lead me, God, in the path of righteousness. For your name's sake. For your name's sake. God, I come right now, Lord, touch you in green right now, Lord. I don't have to touch somebody and pray for them. That's just things we do systematically. Types and shadows to represent what God is already doing. God, you can lay hands on a man on the phone roll like you can lay hands on a man on this phone. So God, I ask you, Lord, to meet them in their surrenders right now in the name of Jesus, wherever they are. I touch and agree. The Bible says, when two of you got his name, I don't care if everybody else don't believe no more. I believe in you. I believe. I got the name of the shirt. I got it. I got it. You got it right now if you want it. The name of the shirt gonna be, I believe in you.
I believe in you.
Why you get a shirt made, I believe in you? Because I want everybody who read my shirt know that they don't stand by themselves. And they will ask what that shirt means. Whatever you believe in, I believe too. Amen. The Bible says, when two or three got his name, he'll be in the midst. I didn't put that scripture at the bottom. You one, I'm two. God three. We together, he gonna be here. Amen. I believe in you in your business. I believe in you in your marriage. I believe in you in your singleness. I believe in you in whatever God called you to do. I believe. I'll go down, I believe. So the conclusion of the series, I want you to know, as long as you be obedient, even if Corona's out there, as long as you remember who you are, as long as you remember why you're doing it, as long as you remember how you're doing it, I promise you,
You'll never fail. Father God, I pray over everyone right now.
Right now, God.
In the name of Jesus, God, I pray over them right now, Lord. I stand in proxy with them right now, Lord. I can follow the CDC and also follow you at the same time. I stand in proxy right now, Jesus. It shall be because of their faith, and it shall not be any other way, Father. We love you right now. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Somebody give God some praise in this place. Listen, I'm telling everybody this right now. If you need special prayer, if you're in this building, come see me. I'll hold your hand, I'm gonna wash it out. But if you're online, email me at Newdestiny@NDFCworldchangers.org. Email me. We're gonna touch you with whatever prayer you got. But if you're in this building today, you're gonna need one.